Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to round 11 of FormulaXbox Season 7. It's Gibbs F1 here with you as always in the commentary box today to talk you through all of the action. And from the high speed, frenetic nature of Silverstone in Northamptonshire, we've headed now to the Hungaroring in Budapest, Hungary, to a very different challenge as well. It's a very technical circuit, this one, a real driver's track with loads of low to medium speed, high radius corners, which are pretty stressful on the tyres and pretty stressful on the drivers as well. Not many overtaking places around here either, so track position is pivotal, and having the best place to start from is Azar, who got his second consecutive pole in the Ferrari, a 1:19.208, the benchmark which nobody else could eclipse in qualifying. It was quite a margin as well, which Azar commanded pole by. Sinan in the Red Bull was a full 3/10 back in second place, but the same front row as, if you remember rightly, from Silverstone, and in fact the same man in third place as well as Melanie in the McLaren, 5/10 back from Azar's pole time, but in third place nonetheless. So as we cross over to the grid now, we're about to get this race underway as we have 3, 4 and 5 red lights here in Hungary. It's lights out and away we go, and Mighty Midget getting a mighty getaway there as Mel gets a lot of wheel spin in the McLaren up ahead, and Nor seems to have got a good start as well as they all pile towards turn 1. It seems like Azar has got the whole shot for now, but Sinan super late on the brakes in the turn 1. Azar hanging out around the outside, and we've got an early safety car deployed here, which is going to curtail the action on this opening lap. And it looks like we've got Azar leading Sinan, Nor and Melanie, so Melanie dropping a place off the line there, Nor getting the jump and making it 2 Red Bulls in the top 3. But as we're going to see a replay now from Sinan's perspective of this start, I noticed on the brakes in the turn 1, Sinan, who got a poor getaway to be fair, was super late on the brakes there, and Azar gave him plenty of room on the inside, and he did well too, because if he'd swung into the apex a bit earlier, then that would have been our front 2 out of the action very early on indeed. And we're going to see a replay now, I think, of what caused the safety car. And oh, a bit of bunching there, the 2 drastic cars, Drastic Devil and Drastic Midget, getting very, very close indeed, tangling away from the line. And as you can see, I think Drastic Midget was just trying to avoid some shenanigans up ahead. Look, goes to the middle of the circuit. Drastic Devil is occupying that part of the circuit, and the 2 of them collide. And that's Drastic Devil's race over. That's Drastic Midget's race heavily compromised, and Williams will be breathing a sigh of relief, I think, after realising the safety car was deployed for that, because otherwise Drastic Midget was going to have to make an unscheduled stop on that one and was going to lose a whole heap of time. We saw there, from Kev's perspective, that incident, just as I called it, Drastic Midget coming back across the middle of the circuit where Drastic Devil already was, and unfortunately, trying to avoid an accident, Drastic Midget, he found himself in one regardless. So, a few cars are pitted to get rid of their super soft tyres, and you can see now we're going to be getting ready. Well, you see the people that are in the pit lane, and well, we're going to break away from that pit chatter because EIusiveKev has had a drama behind the safety car, and then he got tagged there from behind. But well, unbelievable scenes for Kev there, very unfortunate stuff indeed. So some people have taken that opportunity to pit on that one to get rid of their quali tyres, and they're going to have a, well, potentially strategic advantage to the end of this race as Azar gears up for his restart. When is he going to bolt? I thought he was going to go around the penultimate corner, but I think he has gone right about now, and it seems like Sinan's gone with him. So as we restart this race on lap 4, Azar's got a terrible run at the last corner. Sinan may have a look into turn 1. He tucks into the slipstream. We're green again in Hungary, and Sinan is going to try and take this opportunity to take the lead of the Grand Prix. He's down the inside of the Ferrari. Sinan looks to take the lead. Has he got it covered? I don't think so. I think Azar is still ahead. And in fact, as you can see, as Sinan looks to his left there, he finds a Ferrari. He goes really aggressive into turn 2, pinching the Ferrari to the apex, and it looks like now, with that aggressive move, he's got the job done. No, he hasn't. Azar has come back at him, and here comes Nor now, who seems to make a move on Sinan. As Sinan takes to the grass, Nor's going to have the inside for turn 5, but no, backs out of it, thinks better of it. Tenacious race in there from those guys. Some really, really fantastic stuff on the restart. Super aggressive stuff from both Azar and Sinan, and well, a fantastic battle we have in store here. Can Azar stretch his legs now? He's got a bit of a margin over Sinan. We saw in qualifying the pace that he has, so it'll be interesting to see if he can convert that into a bit of a comfort margin in this opening stint. As we see now a bit further down the order, Gibbs, who had a dire qualifying performance, starting well down, has made his way up to P12. and has now got Perez and TSRL Bottas behind him. They had to go pretty defensive into turn 1. We don't often see that from K Gibbs. He usually is pretty poor in defence, but on that occasion he managed to hold the McLaren off for at least another lap. As we see now Worthy getting it all out of shape on the penultimate corner. Jewish Lewis going around the outside of the Williams there, and the final corner, you don't often see that, but with the Williams getting a little bit out of shape, that gave the Renault man the only opportunity he needed. And as you see now, Worthy looking at the inside to the outside. Jewish Lewis going defensive into 1. Now Worthy's going to try and repay the compliment and try and do him around the outside, but no cigar this time for Worthy. He's going to have to settle back into P8 for now. Is he going to have a go down the inside at 2? No, he thinks better of it, and probably wisely so. As we see now, K Gibbs goes deep into 1. That was far too late on the brakes, and that's going to give Perez and the Toro Rosso an opportunity. Perez makes the move. Can K Gibbs come back at him into turn 2? He's going to have a look. He thinks about it, but it nearly hits the back of the Toro Rosso there. He is so deep on the brakes, but not quite deep enough to make the overtake there. As we check back in with our battle a bit further forward, as Nor's pace seems to have dropped off. And speaking of dropped off, Mighty Midget has fallen out of contention there with that particular battle, and he's heading towards the barriers, and that is his race over. Just clumsy accident there from Mighty Midget, you got to say. Just went wide on the way into turn 11, caught a bit of the grass, and then just absolutely no grip out there on that runoff area. And ultimately that proved very, very costly indeed for him as he skittled into the barrier, and that is his race over. So from what looked like a battle for a podium place, Mighty Midget has fallen out of contention. And looking at his teammate now, we've got a battle between Drastic Midget and K Gibbs F1. And it looks like K Gibbs going to the inside at turn 4, gets tagged. Very, very minute contact there with the Williams, but that's K Gibbs in the wall. It seemed like he just tried to hang on to the fight a little too long, and Drastic Midget had the high ground for the corner. We're going to see a replay of it now, and look, he's holding out around the outside of 2. Gets good traction and good purchase off of turn 2 as well. Pitch to the apex, and well, 2 through turn 4. Very, very rarely comes off, to be fair. And as we're going to see it from Drastic Midget's perspective now, he's going to think he's got the job done, to be fair, you'd imagine. And yeah, from that perspective there, when he looked back for the final time, K Gibbs wasn't really alongside. But in the end, the two of them made contact, and that's really compromised K Gibbs' race. And hello, what do we have here? Sam trying to make a move around the outside of Melanie through turn 4. That is audacious, and that seems to be job done, because he's going to have the inside at turn 6 and 7. And well, bravo Sam in the Ferrari. Round the outside of turn 4, made that possible through 5, and well, stunning stuff there. Great racing between the two of them as well, you've got to say. Just moments after we saw Drastic Midget and K Gibbs collide, you've got two cars there going side by side through turn 4, very, very cleanly indeed. And well, K Gibbs' day goes from bad to worse after having to make a pit stop for a new front wing. That is his day done as he finds the barriers on the exit of the final corner. We check back in now with those still in this race, and Sam and Jewish Lewis, a couple of the last men to pit off of their super soft tyres and onto a set of mediums. In the case of Jewish Lewis, Sam went onto a set of softs. The strategy round here, you can tend to go super soft, soft, medium, or any order of those three compounds, or you can get a little more creative than that, depending on how your tyre wear is. So we'll see how it plays out as we check in with the battle, not for points at the moment, but for pride for now, involving Vapid in the Force India. Vapid, who's been in the points every race he's competed in so far this season, so quite a point streak for the Force India man. So he'll be looking to continue that today, but has certainly got some work to do. As we check in with Sam, who goes on to the set of the soft tyres. I said Sam had actually pitted. I was wrong on that basis. He hadn't stopped yet. He was still on the super soft tyres, but now he has. He's gone onto the softs. And Sam, what can he do from here? We see often from him some audacious strategies. I wonder if he can do the same thing today. He's down in 8th at the moment after being first, after having not stopped yet. So as we see now, Drastic Midget, who started on those soft compound tyres, he's yet to stop, and well, going side by side with the Force in with the Toro Rosso, I should say, of Perez. I don't quite know where Perez has gone, but he's dropped back quite a bit there. I think he had a moment on the exit of turn 11. And well, here we go, the two Red Bulls who have stopped are now bottled up behind the Williams, and it's Nor versus Sinan, and they're going to be hoping they don't repeat what the Red Bull boys of Vettel and Webber did at Istanbul back in 2010, as they go wheel to wheel here. Drastic Midget probably quite wisely gets out of the way, because these guys are not his race at the moment, and he does not want to lose time in a scrap with two feisty Red Bulls. We've seen so far today that, Sinan, really aggressive stuff from him there, cutting across the front of Nor, gave him space, but not a lot more than he had to. And so they're side by side now heading towards turn 2. And they both had DRS because Sinan had picked it up from Drastic Midget. And here we go, look, I think Sinan still kept the place, but Nor is right on his gearbox as they head towards turn 4. Can Nor do what Sam did? No, because Sinan covers that outside line. He's not going to give Nor the inside for turn 5. He went defensive out of 4 as well. So Nor is going to have to settle back in behind Sinan and through sector 2. He's not going to be able to make a move, surely, because it's just really a one-car line through here. You just cannot go side by side through hardly any of these corners, as it just ruins your flow. And Drastic Midget has the best seat in the house for this. He's just being towed along by these Red Bulls at the moment. Oh, Sinan gets on the grass. Did nearly what the Mighty Midget did, but not quite as disastrous, as he didn't go to the runoff area. But as we see, that's given Nor the opportunity on the inside of turn 12. Nor takes 3rd place from his teammate, and that was the only mistake that Nor needed to get the job done. Sinan wheel on the grass on the entry to turn 11, and Nor says, "Thank you very much, teammate. I shall nab that podium spot." So we've now got Nor in 3rd place, Sinan in 4th, and Drastic Midget, who of course is yet to stop, I remind you, in 5th place. Here comes Sinan right back at his teammate, wants to snap back early, gets to the inside at turn 1, has the high ground for the corner, but Nor might get a better exit if Sinan can't run him out of road. We see the Red Bulls for the 2nd lap in a row side by side, but Sinan has got the job done. And as we see now, Sam, after having made his pit stop 3 laps ago, is now catching up to the back of these battling Red Bulls, and it has not been held up at all by Drastic Midget. He's cruised up to the back of the Williams, and he has dispatched the Williams. So that is very, very good stuff from him indeed, and the Red Bulls have now got the complication of having caught onto the back of Casey. Of course, Casey yet to stop as well. He started on those soft tyres just like Drastic Midget did. So the de facto order at the moment, just to give you that, is Azar leading from Sinan, from Nor. Melanie is in de facto P4, I believe, as well, once all the pit stops shake their way out. And where Sam plays into this, I do not know, as he's on that contra strategy as well, having gone so long on his super soft tyres. But as we see now, Sinan dispatching Casey, and Nor is going to want to get that move done ASAP as well, because he does not want to lose touch with his teammate. And look, you just saw there a glimpse of it as we check in with Drastic Midget making his pit stop. You just saw a glimpse of Nor getting stuck behind Casey for longer than Sinan did, and Sinan, that gives him an opportunity to build up a little bit of a margin and a little bit of breathing space. And that's exactly what he's done, because look here, we've got Nor, I think, making the move on Casey, and yes, he is indeed. You see the manner there. Sinan's built up a bit of a lead, and here comes Sam as well. Nor has gone from aggressor to defender, because he's now got to try and defend from Sam, although the Ferrari's got very poor traction out of there, and that will give Nor a little bit of chance to regroup. But Sinan's pulled out maybe a second and a half in that, as Casey on those older tyres has just compromised Nor for that lap. And as I said, if you don't make the move through turns 1, 2, 3 or 4, then you're really in trouble, because you just can't get the job done, even if you've got a big pace advantage over the other guy through the 2nd sector and 3rd sector. There just isn't anywhere to overtake. And now we see how it's played out. Sinan's got a margin over Nor, and Nor has no margin over Sam, who has DRS. He's gone super defensive to the inside, has Nor, but Sam's trying it out around the outside. He was so late on the brakes into there, and too late in fact, as Nor has maintained the position, but Sam has got great traction as you'd expect off a turn 1. Nor has the inside line, Sam has the outside line. They're side by side through turn 2, and Sam has the high ground now for 3 as he swoops past KnorTheDragon and into 3rd place. So Sam, on his contra strategy, has brought himself into play, you've got to say here. And will he have to make an extra pit stop over the guys who've gone to the medium tyres? We will find out. But for now at least, Sam is looking very good in his pace over those guys on the medium tyres. If he can get past Sinan as well, is looking very, very good indeed. As we see now Casey battling out with a Force India here, and after making his first pit stop, Casey drops down to what is P8, but Casey on those medium tyres is essentially going to one-stop now. He's gone from the soft to the mediums, and will go to the end from here almost certainly. So he could bring himself into play in the closing stages as well. As we see now Worthy battling at the lower end of the points with a Force India as well. That might well be Vapid, as Vapid then goes to the inside there. It's going to be a drag race down the pit straight. Who's going to come off best here? You'd imagine it's going to be Worthy with DRS service as well. The Force India's pretty late on the brakes. Worthy round the outside, runs the gauntlet and makes the move stick. So he's up into P9 now. An extra point earned for the Williams man. and Casey, the next man in his sights. And well, I said Melanie was de facto P4. He has made his final stop of the day, but he's certainly got some work to do. He's up to P7 with a Renault pitting. He's now up to P6 as he's dispatched Casey Legend. Little bit of wheel banging at turn 1, but still the job has been done by Melanie, and he's now up to P6 with P5 in his sights as well on lap 25. We've got 10 to go, and Melanie's left himself with some work to do. We didn't see on camera quite what happened to him, but certainly something has happened to him in this race, as he dispatches Drastic Midget and demotes the Williams man to P6. He's now up to P5 and has 9 laps to go and chase down 4th place, who at the moment I believe will still be Nor, but Sam, like I said, may have to make another pit stop in this one. We shall see. Jewish Lewis down the inside of Drastic Midget heading into turn 6. Drastic Midget takes the escape road, and the Renault gets 1 place higher into 6th place. Jewish Lewis leaving Drastic Midget with very few options there other than to take the escape road, and prototypBudgiE getting all out of shape on the exit of the chicane, and Sam has been collected in that one. So what was going to be an audacious strategy and a very, very interesting race from Sam with plenty of swashbuckling action has been totally wrecked there by prototypBudgiE. So Sam, now on the super soft tyres, is going to be fuming at that one. He probably could have got all the way to the end, you'd imagine, given how far he went on those super softs to start with. So it'll be interesting to see. We'll never know now what Sam was going to do strategically. If you're watching, Sam, please leave in your comment section below what the aim was at least, and whether you think it would have come off. But Sam down to P10, it'll be interesting to see how far he can get in the 7 laps that are left, as he looks to now take Vapid and demote him to P10, and he's around the outside at 5, using those super soft tyres to good advantage. And well, that's the second move around the outside we've seen from him today, and Sam certainly, you'd imagine, pretty pumped up after the contact with prototypBudgiE, which has essentially taken him out of the podium fight. And Sam now goes down the inside of the Williams of Worthy, pretty aggressive going into turn 1 there, you've got to say, in his defence, but Sam getting the job done anyway. And now he's on the back of Drastic Midget with 2 laps to go, so he's demoted 1 Williams. He's now looking to do the second one, and around the outside of the final corner this time from Sam. He really is loving these super soft tyres. He didn't want to be on them, I'm pretty sure, but he's certainly putting them to good use. And now from P8 to P7, and that is yet another place for Sam. He's even got Casey in his sights now as well, in the manor. He's got 1 lap to go. I don't think he's going to be able to bridge that gap, but a very valiant comeback from Sam there to get all the way back into P7 after the consequences of his accident with prototypBudgiE. But his teammate, meanwhile, has been in imperious form. He had a terrible weekend last time out in Silverstone, but he's had an absolute corker in Hungary. Our championship leader, the man who felt like he needed a race victory, Azar, has converted pole position into the Hungarian Grand Prix victory. Azar, your winner today in the Ferrari, and the Tifosi will be loving that one. Sinan comes across the line in 2nd place for Red Bull. He had a tremendous battle with his teammate during that race, and well deserving of 2nd place. Melanie, you see, crossed the line there in 4th. It was a Red Bull double podium with Nor in 3rd place, and Red Bull, after the entertainment they gave us today, certainly deserved that. Christian Horner will be loving the day. Not quite as much, I'm sure, as Maurizio Arrivabene, to be fair. Ferrari will be disappointed that Sam dropped out of the higher point scoring potential, but ultimately a good day for the team overall with the victory nonetheless. And Drastic Midget facing a dramatic closing stages here, as he's actually picked up a puncture on his front left. He's just made those medium tyres go a little bit too far, and they've just cried enough on the final lap. Is he going to lose out any positions? Because he's got quite a margin, as you can see on the map, over Vapid, who currently sits in P9. Drastic Midget will be praying he can bring this home for P8. He's struggled with points quite often this season, Drastic Midget, and a haul of 4 will be a very good afternoon's work for him, and he deserves it after some very good battling indeed, and playing out what was nearly a perfect strategy. And he's going to come across the line for 8th. I think, yes, he does hang on to it. So good stuff there from Drastic Midget. Unfortunate to have a puncture right at the end there, but it didn't cost him any positions in the final assessment. So Azar, your winner today, a 1:21.9, showing his pace, but Sinan was right with him as well, as was Nor right at the end there. So it's a double Red Bull podium, but it's Ferrari on top. Melanie recovering to P4. I don't know what happened to him. We saw him down in P8 at one point, so decent recovery effort from Melanie anyway. And obviously Jewish Lewis coming home in 5th place. We also had obviously Sam recovering in those closing stages to 6th, Casey up in 7th, Casey demoted by Sam right at the end there, so decent comeback actually from Sam to 6th after what happened to him, but I'm sure he'll be having words with prototypBudgiE after that one. Jurassic Midget sitting in P8, Vapid in P9, TRCRL Bottas in 10th, and prototypBudgiE in P11. Now, just to clarify what I mentioned about Budgie, obviously he had a bit of a moment coming out of turn 6, or turn 7 I should say, coming out of the chicane. To be fair, by that point he was probably a passenger and couldn't do anything else about it, but no doubt that won't be much, there will be little consolation to Sam, who had his race very much compromised by that incident. And Worthy, Feely, Perez, K Gibbs, Mighty Midget, Kev all DNFing in that one, and of course Drastic Devil, who DNF'd on the very first lap. So as far as what that does for our championship, our leader, of course, Azar, retains his lead on that one and extends it, in fact. So he currently leads the way on 146.5 points, 28.5 clear of Sinan in 2nd, and Casey Legend, who drops from 2nd to 3rd today, he's now 35 points off the lead. No one, as you'll be able to notice, within a win of Azar now, so that gives him some breathing space as he aims, I should say, for his first FormulaXbox crown. Melanie in 4th place in the standings, now 108 points, 38.5 off the lead. Bear in mind he started at race 7. He is very much in this fight. Nor in 5th place, 101 points. He's not far behind his teammate at all. It's all closing up behind Azar at the moment. Sam on 86 and Maestro on 57 for now. And so, very, very interesting race there in Hungary. Plenty of action, plenty of side-by-side action as well, which, given it's very difficult to overtake, we saw some very creative stuff from drivers today, and particularly some great moves from Sam, who'd have to be one of my drivers of the day for that last 7 laps where he was just overtaking people around the outside for fun. So very good stuff there. And your winner, of course, is Azar today. Please leave your thoughts in the comment section below as to what you thought of that race. And anything that I missed in commentary, obviously feel free to pop that in the comment section below as well. But until next time, when we will be in Germany for the German Grand Prix, we'll see you very soon. Goodbye.